Hello student, good afternoon. We are continue the lecture, that is nucleic acids and nucleolus, structure and functions of nucleolus. We have to study the in last lecture, that is the structure of nucleus. In structure of nucleus, that is nuclear membrane is we have to complete it, and function of nuclear membrane also. Second point is nuclear shape or nucleoplasm. What is meant by nucleoplasm? Nucleoplasm means nucleolus acquired the nucleus acquired the space, that is called as nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm plus remaining part is cytoplasm equal to protoplasm. Protoplasm means that is the cell or that is called as protoplasm, that is nucleoplasm. The space between the nuclear envelope and the nucleolus, space between the nuclear envelope and the nucleolus is filled by the transparent semi-solid granular and slightly acidophilic ground substance or the matrix known as the nuclear sap or nucleoplasm or karyolymph. The nuclear components such as the chromatin threads and the nucleolus remains suspended in the nucleoplasm. The nucleoplasm has a complex chemical composition. It is composed of mainly the nucleoproteins, but it also contains other inorganic and organic substances also, that is nucleic acids, proteins, enzymes and minerals also. Nucleic acid. The most common nucleic acids of the nucleoplasm are the DNA. Most common nucleic acids of the nucleoplasm are the DNA and RNA. Both may occur in the macromolecular state or in the form of the monomer nucleotides. Second is proteins. The nucleoplasm contains many types of complex proteins. Nucleoproteins can be categorized into following two types: basic proteins and non-histone or acidic proteins. First, that is basic proteins. The proteins which take basic stain are known as the basic protein. The most important basic proteins of the nucleus are nucleoproteamines and the nucleohistones. The nucleoproteamines are simple and basic proteins having very low molecular weight. The most abundant amino acids of these proteins is arginine. These proteins is arginine. Most abundant amino acids of these proteins is arginine. The nucleohistones have high molecular weight. The histones are composed of basic amino acids such as arginine, lysine, and histidine. Histones with rich lysine, histones with origin, and histones with poor amount of the lysine. Second type of proteins, that is the non-histone or acidic proteins. Non-histone or acidic proteins. First is basic proteins. Second is acidic proteins. These acidic proteins either occurs in the nucleoplasm or in the chromatin. The most substantive abundant acidic proteins of the euchromatin are the phosphoproteins. Phosphoproteins. Third number, enzymes. The nucleoplasm contains many enzymes. Nucleoplasm contains many enzymes which are necessary for the synthesis of the DNA and RNA. Which are necessary for the synthesis of DNA and RNA. Acidic proteins. The most significant nuclear enzymes are the DNA polymerase. Most significant nuclear enzymes are the DNA polymerase, RNA polymerase, and NAD synthetase, nucleoside triphosphatase, adenosine diaminase, nucleoside phosphorylase, guanase, aldolase, anolase, phosphorylase, guanase, aldolase, anolase, 3-phosphoglyceride, 3-phosphoglyceride, dehydrogenase, and the pyruvic kinase. The nucleoplasma also contains certain cofactors and coenzymes such as ATP and acetyl coenzymes. Lipids. The nucleoplasm contains small lipids contained. Stoneberg scientists have described in 1937 and Duans in 1955. Minerals. The nucleoplasm contains several inorganic compounds such as phosphorus, potassium, sodium, calcium, and magnesium. The chromatin comparatively contains large amount of minerals than the nucleoplasm. Chromatin fibers. The nucleoplasm contains many thread-like coiled and much elongated structures which take readily the basic stain such as the basic fashion. These thread-like structures are known as the chromatin. Substance or chromatin fibers. Such chromatin fibers are observed only in the interphase nucleus during the cell division. Chromatin fibers becomes thick ribbon-like structures which are known as the chromosomes. Two types of chromatin materials have been recognized. Example, heterochromatin, euchromatin, and the darkly stained condensed region of the chromatin is known as the heterochromatin. The condensed proteins of the nucleus are known as the chromocenters or karyosomes of false nucleoli. It occurs around the nucleus and at the periphery. It is supposed to be metabolically and genetically inert because it contains comparatively small amount of the DNA and large amount of the RNA. The light stained and diffused regions of the chromatin is known as the euchromatin, and the euchromatin contains the comparatively large amount of DNA. Last, that is the nucleolus. The nucleolus contains a large spherical and acidophilic dense granules known as the nucleolus. The nucleolayer discovered by Fontana in 1781. The number of the nucleoli in the nucleus depends on the species and number of the chromosomes. The number of the nucleoli in the cells may be 1, 2 or 4. The position of the nucleolus is the nuclear is eccentric. In certain cells, the nucleolus may exist in fragmented or diffused form, but most nuclei contains compact nuclei. The nucleolus composed of the following three regions: granular region, fibrillary region, and amorphous region. The granular regions occurs at the periphery of the nucleolus and composed of dense granules of 150 to 200 angstrom unit diameter. The granular regions consist of ribonucleic proteins. The fibrillary region is known as the nucleolema. The nucleonema is the composed of many fibrils of 50 to 80 angstrom unit long, sometimes very long as 500 angstrom unit. Fibrils have been reported in certain nucleoli. The fibrils are composed of nucleic proteins. The amorphous region has low electron density and it is found only in the certain nucleoli. It is composed of certain proteins which can be hydrolyzed easily by the pepsin enzymes. The nucleolus possesses no limiting membrane and the calcium ions are supposed to be maintain the intact organization of the nucleolus. The nucleolus is surrounded by heterochromatin. The nucleolus also contains vacuoles which have no limiting membrane and contains certain proteins. The nucleolus is chemically composed of RNA and protein enzymes, orthophosphatase. Functions of the nucleolus. The main functions of the nucleolus is the biogenesis of ribosomes. It stores the proteins of ribosomes and also rRNA, which is transcribed by rRNA, ribosomal RNA of nucleolar organizer. The newly transcribed rRNA remains in nucleolus for short time, and during that period its certain nitrogen bases get methylated. Soon it cleaves into 28S RNA and 18S rRNA, both of which become wrapped by nuclear proteins of cytoplasmic origin and transported to the cytoplasm to form the ribosomes. This is the nucleoplasm, chromatin fibers and the nucleolus. Structure and function of nucleolus. Okay student, thank you.